Hello and welcome to another video with Gardening for Beginners. This video is part of a new series called Gardening Quick Tips. They're going to be short videos, maybe 5 or 10 minutes tops, that are going to provide instructions on how to do singular specific tasks. In this video, we're going to cover how I prepare my seed starter mix. I know for many of us it's a very simple process, but in this video we're going to cover everything you need to know. The goal here is to focus on one simple task of gardening and perfect it. So while it's helpful for the beginner, it's tailored for the longtime gardener as well. And with a new series, I figured I'd get some new music to spice things up. Let's get started. Nothing like a new intro song to get some new energy flowing, right? So seed starting mix really is the first building block to getting your seeds to sprout. Whether you're using the paper towel method to germinate your seeds, or you're plopping seeds directly into soil and starting them indoors, you're gonna want some type of soil medium. I like to use Jiffy seed starter mix. I've had good success with it, and as far as, you know, prepared seed starter mix, it's really inexpensive at about $5 a bag. I'm sure that any seed starting mix that you can get in the stores is probably going to be more than acceptable for getting things started, you know, when you're planting your seeds or mixing your soil, I should say. But I like to use this one mainly because in my neck of the woods, it's readily available at retail and hardware stores in town. You'll also want some type of container to put the soil in, and the size of the container really depends upon the scale at which you're starting seeds. I use the paper towel method for a lot of my seeds, so I use this container right here. It's not really that big, but I have 9 different varieties of seeds going right now and in paper towels, and on average about 2 to 5 seeds germinate per day, so I don't need a huge container. But if you're starting a lot of seeds in seed starts, seed flats, or, you know, styrofoam paper cups, you may want to consider getting a 3 or a 5 gallon bucket, you know, especially if you're starting them all at the same time. This is going to lower the amount of time that you would spend having to remix something of this size right here. I found though that this container, when I fill it all the way to the top, I can fill up about 5 of these styrofoam cups, which for me really is all I need. Another thing you'll need are the liquid ingredients to mix in with the soil. I use either tap water that I've let sit for about 24 hours or rainwater, depending upon how much of that I have. I also use cold pressed neem oil. So this stuff is essential if you want to avoid fungus gnats infesting the inside of your home. I use this brand. It's a TheraNeem Naturals neem oil for the garden, certified organic. And just for the record, all these products that I'm showing, I'm not getting any sponsorship from any of these. I don't want you to think I'm making any money. This is just, you know, through trial and error, the most effective things that I've found, and I enjoy passing that knowledge on to y'all. But this is the only brand that I've tried, and I've had really good success with it. I'm sure any brand that's labeled for use in the garden is good. Just make sure Azadirachta indica or Azadirachtan is listed as the active ingredient. It's very important. If it uses words like extract, stay away from those. And for the record, I don't know if I'm pronouncing either of those two phrases correctly, so I'll make sure I have them printed up on the screen somewhere. And for those of you that are watching closed captioning, you probably already know how it's spelled. But yeah, as far as the ones that use the terms like extract when they're talking about Azadirachtan, I would recommend staying away from those. I've tried those like as pre-mixed sprays, for example, in the past, and they're just not as effective. Are they effective? Yes, to a certain extent, but I would find, at least with the ones that I tried to use, that my fungus gnat problem would come back, or, you know, I would actually have some mold or some sort of fungus, you know, starting on the surface of the plants. But when I use this stuff, I don't seem to have either of those issues at all. So why do we do this? Why do we pre-mix our soil with these liquids outside of making sure that you don't have a fungus gnat problem? You always want to pre-moisten this type of soil before putting into containers. If you were to just pour dry soil in a cup and add neem oil and water, the liquids will collect at the top and not evenly distribute through the container. And I can give you an example right here. This is the seed starter mix that I just threw in there into this little container, and I'm just gonna pour some water in there. And as you see right here, it doesn't mix evenly. The liquids, they're just collecting at the top and they're not evenly distributing through the container or the soil. And what's going to happen is you've got dry soil right here, you've got this soupy mess up here. What this can do, you see that right there, how it's just separated right there. What that can do is that can move your seeds around to where they go in different depths or in different areas, which may not be the best place for them to sprout. Or even worse, once your seed starts to sprout, this soil may eventually, the water may eventually collapse down into the bottom, and what that does is that pushes the soil down. That can expose the root system of your plant, which can shock it, which is no good. You might even have to start over. Last but not least, you really should use a mask when mixing this soil. Really, when preparing any type of soil, including potting mix, or if you're making your own soil from scratch. This stuff right here, the seed starter mix, has little dust particles that can be dangerous if inhaled. Mix it in a well-ventilated area, and if you're outside, stand where the wind is blowing the particles away from you. But even outside, you should still wear a mask. I even like to wear goggles when I'm mixing outside because the wind can be capricious at best on some days, and getting those dust particles in your eyes isn't my idea of a good time. Safety first. There we go. So I know I'm in my greenhouse, which is, a bit of an enclosed area, but what I've done is I've opened the door already and I've cracked the window. So there's steady circulation of air in here, but it's not so windy that I'm gonna need goggles. I've noticed, at least when mixing seed starter mix, the biggest dust problem happens when you first pour it in the container. So I'm gonna recycle this stuff that I just showed you. There we go. Yeah, that's not too bad. And then I'm also gonna add a little bit more of the Jiffy, of the seed starting mix. Nope, that's not bad at all. Very little, but a little bit of dust, not much at all, but I'm still gonna keep my mask on. Still gonna keep my mask on, most definitely. Now what you wanna do is pour in just a small amount of neem oil. You really don't need that much. A little bit goes a long way. And that's really all you need. Now some water, and again, you don't really need a lot. We want the consistency of soil that is wet, but isn't dripping wet when you squeeze it in your hand. That should be enough right there. Now I finally get to get my hands dirty. So I like to mix it like this, okay, where I've got my one hand squeezing it like this, and then my other hand I'm turning it, and I'm using my fingers to get all the, pieces of soil on the sides. Let me get it a little bit closer. Just pretend like I'm spinning it right there. So, the reason I do this is it's to ensure that the neem oil gets evenly mixed throughout, along with the water as well. You don't want any, dry pieces in there. Now, if you are using neem oil, you're gonna notice a faint odor from it, almost like a combination of olive oil, onions, and garlic sauteing. Some people don't like it, but I love it. And I think we've got it just about right here. And as you can see, it passes the hand squeezing test. It's damp and workable, but it's not dripping wet. There's no liquid or water coming out of my hands. And now that you have it mixed, this soil is ready to be packed into containers for sowing your seeds. One last tip: if you're not going to use your seed starter mix right away, and you've got a partial batch left over, for example, you can always put a little bit of plastic over it. That's going to help lock in the moisture to keep it damper longer, so you wouldn't have to prepare it again. But tell me what you think in the comments section below. Did you learn something new? What are some of your best practices for preparing and mixing your seed starter soil? Also, are there any other gardening quick tips that you'd like to see in a future video? If you did like this video, please click the like button and subscribe to our channel. If you're on a PC, you can click the icon in the bottom right of this video, or if you're on a cell phone, you can click the subscribe button below this video. I'm also going to include a few clickable videos at the end that you may find helpful on your gardening journey. Thank you for watching, and happy gardening.